afternoon. Here is the news afternoon. First, the highlight. Governor Sanwo-Olu charges Lagosians to continue to be law-abiding, pledges to prioritize welfare of residents. Federal government Yuletide transportation subsidy kicks off. And Warrington, United States of America, expresses support for UN aid resolution on Gaza. And in sports, Nigeria Cricket Federation Under-17 tournament begins in January. And now the details. I am Mike James. The Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has urged Lagosians to continue to be law-abiding, as his administration will continue to prioritize their welfare towards cushioning the effect of the current economic realities in the country. Governor Sanwo-Olu gave this assurance at the 2023 Christmas Carol of 9 Lessons with the theme King of Righteousness, held at Lagos House, Ikeja, organized by the First Family in conjunction with Ministry of Home Affairs. The governor, who was represented by his wife, Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, read the 9th Bible lesson from the book of John, chapter 1, verses 1 to 14, expressed joy and appreciation to God for the season of love, peace, and urged Lagosians to remain steadfast and as well live in peace and harmony. She had this to say.
As we proceed into the festive period and the new year, I urge all Lagosians to continue living in peace and righteousness, which according to the scripture exalts a nation. There is no doubt in the fact that as individuals and as a nation, the times are challenging. We must, however, not despair nor lose hope.
In his welcome address, the State's Commissioner for Home Affairs, Ibrahim Layode, described the event as an avenue to take stock and reflect on all activities from the beginning of the year and express gratitude to God despite challenges for still standing tall by His grace and faithfulness. Our correspondent, Ajola Akindele, reports that a carnival-like gathering had different church choirs, gospel artists rendering music to the delight of the audience. And reports just reaching us that the Lagos State government has ordered the immediate opening of all gated streets in Lekki axis to enhance the free flow of traffic. We'll bring you more details concerning this in our subsequent bulletin. To support the most vulnerable Lagosians, the Lagos State government has again presented checks to 103 Lagos indigent residents in line with the present administration's commitment to uplift the marginalized and provide relief during challenging times. Presenting the checks to the beneficiaries at Alausa on behalf of the Special Advisor, Office of Political, Legislative and Civic Engagement, Tajudeen Afolabi, the Permanent Secretary, Abiola Kushigbe, expressed Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's unwavering dedication towards the welfare of the indigent Lagosians. Kushigbe said the funds being disbursed through the Financial Assistance Program will enable the indigent to meet their essential needs such as healthcare, education, housing, and small business ventures. The Permanent Secretary averred that people with health challenges are being given priority in a financial assistance scheme to ensure that they get the required treatment for their health challenges as soon as possible. While urging all beneficiaries to register with the Lagos State Health Management Scheme, LASHMA, she added that the office has put in plans in place to pre-register all beneficiaries on the scheme for maximum and quality health care. The Lagos State Parastatals Monitoring Office, PMO, has commenced its quarterly monitoring and inspection of projects, finances, and activities of all government agencies under its supervision in the state. The Permanent Secretary of the office, Olubemiga Aino, emphasized that the present administration in the state aims to lay a very solid foundation for a world-class economy. He said Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu wants a smart city that would be able to compete with other world-class destination areas around the world in the areas of infrastructure, transportation, security, education, tourism, sports, entertainment, and all other activities of a smart city. Aina maintained that this is only possible when all agencies and parastatals perform their revenue generation duties, adding that the monitoring exercise would ensure that all parastatals and agencies and other organizations comply with government financial guidelines. And now to the rest of the stories. The federal government's Yuletide transportation subsidy has kicked off in some locations in Lagos State. Report says there was a passenger surge as the free train service took off in line with the presidential directive. It will be recalled that the federal government on Wednesday announced President Bola Tinubu's approval of rates for transportation during the Yuletide. In the program, Nigerians traveling to celebrate with loved ones or to enjoy a free train ride on the Lagos-Ibadan, Abuja-Kaduna, Warri-Itakpe and Ido-Ijuku routes, while those traveling by bus will pay 50% of the cost. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tugar, has reiterated the federal government's commitment towards realizing Nigeria's foreign policy objectives. Tugar made this known in Abuja while delivering a lecture at the 2023 annual ceremony organized by the Association of Retired Career Ambassadors of Nigeria, ARCAN. According to him, there are diverse thoughts by people thinking that Nigeria does not have a foreign policy or the need for the country to develop foreign policy objectives. Tugar explained the Nigeria's foreign policy objectives, saying they existed and remained immovable because they are enshrined in the Constitution. He added that the objectives are to promote and protect Nigeria's national interest. And in some foreign news, the U.S. has expressed support for the UN's latest draft resolution on humanitarian aid for Gaza, a vote for which is expected later today. The original draft called for a sustainable cessation of hostilities, but the final version calls for creating the conditions for one. It comes as the World Food Programme says Gaza is at risk of famine within 6 months if the conflict does not end. Meanwhile, Hamas says Palestinian groups have rejected the prospect of further hostage releases until Israel agrees to end the war in Gaza. More than 240 Israeli hostages were captured during Hamas's October 7 attacks, with more than 100 of them released in a truce last month. And over to sports news. The 5th Nigeria Cricket Federation National Under-17 Championship will commence in January, with the zonal elimination across 6 zones. Zonal elimination games in the boys and girls categories will run from January 20 till January 28, 2024. Teams from different states will face off in a round-robin format to determine the zonal champions and also pick up the team that will represent the zones at the national finals. The national finals will follow from February 7 to 11 at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Package B, Abuja. The championship started in 2018 and has produced a number of players for the men's and women's national teams. And that was our news at 12. But just before we go, your vehicle is not a strong room. Please keep your valuables off the view of miscreant. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X, formerly Twitter, Lagos Traffic 961, Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Watch us live on Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. On YouTube, subscribe and watch all our previous programs and news on our channel, Traffic Radio 961. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration empowered over 1,000 residents at the 3rd phase of the Mega Empowerment Program? Well, you can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. And to end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has urged Lagosians to continue to be law-abiding as his administration will continue to prioritize their welfare towards cushioning the effect of the current economic realities in the country. The federal government's Yuletide transportation subsidy has kicked off in some locations in Lagos. And we also told you that the U.S. has expressed support for the UN's latest draft resolution on humanitarian aid for Gaza, a vote for which is expected later today. And in sports, the 5th Nigeria Cricket Federation National Under-17 Championship will commence in January, with the zonal elimination across 6 zones. And for contact with the newsroom, send a message to Lagos Traffic Radio at lagostate.gov.ng. That ends the news broadcast. It was compiled by Abiola Fagbalagun. Thank you for listening. My name is Mike James. Well, bright and sunny Friday afternoon. A great one it is indeed, and it's turning out to be a fabulous day. Well, I now step aside for Micah Arocha for GNI on Go. Right after which he'll drift into lunchtime workout. Stay here for more.
I know one day, like every other day, I tune to Lagos Traffic Radio. Them say, traffic is there, I love like